Hello and welcome. I'm Galdoc. We are playing Factorio, and this is the space exploration mod with some quality of life mods added. One of those quality of life mods is aircraft, and another one is exploration. AAI. I believe I have found an insane exploit, and I am going to not use the exploit, but I want to show everyone what the exploit is so that people understand exactly what I'm talking about. Hang on for 1 second. My phone just made a sound, and that's very strange. So I'm going to take 2 seconds here, and I'm going to turn my phone off. Sound. Oh, yep, everything quiet. Hold on. Shush. There we go. Okay. So now we're back. The thing is that I'm going to set up something to manufacture some cargo planes, and it's going to take a whole lot of iron. Like, we're talking a whole lot of iron. A whole lot of iron. It's also going to take a lot of steel and engines. Let's do this. Let's do this. So yeah, this is no joke. The other thing is we're going to curve this in this way. There we go. Let's see. Here we go. It needs this submachine gun for some crazy reason I cannot fathom. I don't think this thing actually has a weapon attached to it. And I also need to do this. Here we go. Oops. Here we are. And this is going to feed this. And I think that's everything I need. Yep, that'll output. Now let's go ahead and give it an output chest. Now, what on earth am I talking about in terms of an exploit? So I could make a whole bunch of this stuff. Give me 1 second. Someone actually just asked for my Twitch link, so here we go. All right, so probably apologize about that. Got distracted for a second. So the idea here is that with these things, I can actually do something that is, I don't want to say it's unintended, but certainly it's about to get, it gets a bit gross in terms of how much this can be exploited. So I'm going to make a couple of other things that will help illustrate this problem. Let's grab a stack of these. So I'm trying to make some of these things here, so I need some green circuits. I think I put a, little thing here to keep a couple. And then I need some iron, I believe. Most def. So I'm just going to make a little bit here, a couple of these things here. It's not going to be anything to write home about. Here we go. Didn't need that many engines, but whatevs. So let's go ahead and just chuck some of this stuff from my inventory, this garbage. It's probably the wrong box to put that in, so let me fix that real quick. Silly me. I can't click on the thing. Oh, I already have one. Good. Perfect. Actually, that's exactly what I would hope for. Okay, so I don't need those. I don't need that. Actually, is this a hauler? No, it's a warden. I do need a hauler, so let's see. The plane, I have one of those things. Let's make another one. So here it is. Let's make another one. And I'm going to need a hauler. Where is the hauler? There it is. So I got iron and some motors. All right, let's see. Grab some motors from here. Do I have enough iron and stuff now? Nope. Let's grab some iron from here. Boom. Is that enough to make the hauler? Yes. Okay. Don't think I need the hauler, but it would be part of the setup overall. Because, yeah, good times. All right, so here's the setup. Here's the problem that I'm illustrating. So it's so overpowered that I'm tempted to use it, but I'm not going to. But I at least want to make it known that this is a thing, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm not going to sit here and say that someone's enjoying their game wrong by doing this. But let's go ahead and just pop 2 of these things down here, and let's go ahead and toss this guy in, and let's get some fuel in him. He doesn't need much because this is just going to be sort of a back and forth thing. Now, basically, the thing is, when it comes to actually commanding these guys, you just grab one of these things and you can tell them to go wherever. Well, check this out. Let me make a beacon, just one. It takes a little while. I don't know why that takes 10 seconds to make a position beacon, but whatever. And the idea here is that I'm going to make a loop for this thing to go in. So I'll put a position beacon here for reasons that'll become apparent in a moment. In fact, I don't even need to put it there. I guess I can put it right. Let's see. Where's my beacon? So this is one of those things that's not given to the grid. You can actually just put it wherever. And the reason you can is because, well, this thing is going to go to various positions. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to get this blue remote control, and I'm going to make a path. So I'll add a path. What I'm going to do is add some locations to it. We'll start here on the beacon, and I have to start there. I can't start on anything else. The reason will become apparent in a second. But then I say the second destination is that, and the third destination is this. So now I've got a loop. That's perfect. Now here's the thing. This is a giant warehouse, and this is a giant warehouse. But there's also something else that's very keen about this. It's meant for the whole AAI thing. You're supposed to be able to drive back and forth and bring the material in like haulers. So like if I bring out my hauler, what would happen is this thing, when it got close enough to here, would automatically transfer inventory. And that's the thing. When I say automatically transfer inventory, that should ring some alarm bells. The reason is because this is how we transfer inventory normally. We have inserters, and they transfer inventory from like a thing, a train or a box or whatever. And what we also have are loaders. And that already felt a little bit cheaty, but if you have like a loader here, this will automatically feed a belt in to some box or assembler or something. But with this, it just automatically sort of happily flows over. And that can be exploited. And that's kind of a problem. But I like it because it's an interesting thing. Here's the problem. Normally, you wouldn't be able to have that hauler go back and forth, because if you did, it would be subject to the biter AI. In fact, let me go ahead and show you real quick. Steal a little bit of fuel there. If I go here and I plop in some fuel, boom. The thing is that if I tell this where to go... Oh, I lost my controller. Y gives me a free one? Okay, there. So grab one, and if I command him to go here, well, he's going to create some kind of a path, but some of it's pointless. Like, see that little jog there? Like, what on earth is that there for? But he's going to do it. And the problem is that the more complicated the path over here, the stranger these paths seem. And this is actually due to a pathfinding algorithm that the biters have to use, and it's not very efficient. You can't really run a base like this because, you get like 10 of these things going and your FPS up here will drop. One isn't going to do it, but definitely if you put a whole bunch on there, it'll become a problem. This is not the case with planes. They just go there. I'm not sure what AI they use, but I think it probably has something to do with the robots. Because it somehow knows that it can fly over anything. So yeah, that's a problem. Here's the problem. This isn't going to be subject to the same problems that this is. So I think anyways, I haven't actually experimented with this. But my guess is that I can actually have this thing fly around. I can have a whole bunch of these things flying around, and they're not going to come up with complicated paths. They're just going to go from one spot to the other. Okay, here's the kicker. I'm going to transfer all the material from here to here. Well, what material? Good question. Hypothetical person. Let's go ahead and just dump all the contents of my inventory in there and just grab a whole bunch of this stuff. Plop it in here. We're going to fill this thing up. So I'm just going to take all this coal that I have in these stored chests up here due to a silly mistake I made earlier. There. All right. So put the rest of this back and grab my inventory. Okay. So now, here's how this is going to work. I'm going to take this and I'm going to click on this part of it. You'll see that if I zoom in, you've got this whole thing here. But if I click on this part, hey, here's where the circuit stuff's can happen. And I think that's what these things are meant to indicate, the red and blue wires, or red and green. So you click on this thing, and I'm going to tell this that it wants to have negative 15,000 coal. That means it actively is going to try to give away 15,000 coal to anything that will take it. So I'm going to tell this thing that it wants to have 15,000 coal. Again, I'm going to click on this little thing here, click here, and I'll set this to 15,000. Now, I don't know how many, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 here. 120 slots times 50 is 6,000. So this thing can carry 6,000 coal, I think. I hope I did that right. Otherwise, I did it wrong on live TV. So, but I think it's, or live stream, but I think that's 6,000. So if I come in here, I can click on this thing, the edit unit data, and this is what it wants to carry. Let me just get rid of everything that isn't coal, right? I don't know what it's going to do. I can eventually have to put I'll eventually have to put something in here for fuel, but for right now, this will demonstrate the problem. So let's get rid of that. Put coal in here, and we'll say this thing wants to get 6,000 coal. Okay. Watch what happens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this thing to go on that loop that I said earlier. So if I click on it and I select the blue thing here, I'll see that I have this path, and I can even call this path test path 1. Fine. Doesn't really matter. And it won't let me click off. Whatever. These are the destinations, and I picked this first one as being the, let's see. I picked the first one as being the beacon because that's exact, right? If I put this as the first destination, it wouldn't really work, right? The problem, of course, is that when I go to give it a destination, this is pretty big, and so it doesn't consider the entity the destination. It considers the point in space the destination. Well, because this beacon can go anywhere in space when I go to place it, if I click on this and set it as the destination, it will work. The reason it matters is because if you read this line here, it says to assign a unit to a path, which means I want to tell this plane to go on this path. I need to order the unit onto the path start position. Well, if I try to put a path start position on this thing, it's not going to work because I might have put my position over here when I set the position, but when I go to assign it, I might click over here. The only way I've found to get it to be perfect is to click on the beacon. Okay, long story short. Let's go back to here. This is the thing I use to command vehicles, and I'm going to get it on the path. And we're going to go here. I'm going to set it to go to that beacon, and that should go on the path, which means it should go here, and then there, and then down here. Now watch what happens. Let's look at the inventory. Boom, it just filled up. What? That's crazy. Now if I click here, look what happens. Boom. Now, that's insane. That's basically going to obviate virtually everything in a base. Like if I were to sit here and say, you know what, I don't feel like having trains move this stuff around from here to here, from here to here. Instead, what I might do is just take this depot here, set it to want negative a whole lot of copper or iron or whatever the patch happens to be, and then set another one over here as its destination, and then have a loop. That loop point I can put next to another depot. Like this loop point doesn't have to be right here, right? This is my sort of fuel refining area. I can have it fill up with fuel and just have it go get fuel, drop off stuff, get stuff. Get fuel, drop off stuff, get stuff. And the amount of throughput will exceed anything in the game right now. So I just wanted people to know that that is a thing. It's a very fascinating thing. Don't get me wrong. Okay, hang on. Let's go ahead and turn you off. And let's actually go in here. We're going to delete this path. So go to list paths and click on the X to get rid of them. And then that's gone. And then we're just going to pick everything up. Now I have a whole bunch of coal sitting there. All right, hang on. So good for demonstration purposes, but perhaps bad for anything else. So yeah, so that was my fun little idea of victory. So do with that what you will. Remember not to abuse the power that you have just been given. What in the world? I must have clicked on that incorrectly. There's still some left. Good gracious. Oh, yeah, that'll work. Okay. There we go. So let's pick all this up. And I think this plane takes forever to pick up. Yeah, look at that. Like, what in the world? Anyways, so that's a thing. I'm not going to do that thing because that feels very cheaty. But definitely when it comes to doing... yeah, it definitely is one of those things that I feel like it's not meant by the mod author. The mod author didn't have any flying planes in his personal mod. He did make them compatible because, well, they're vehicles and it should be. But yeah, that is definitely a whole thing. Yeah. So let's see. What else? These things also are special because they do not collide with one another, I don't think. Like, let me take this. This doesn't collide with anything. Like, if I go to another plane, which is like over here. Where do I have one? Here. Like, these things don't collide. I can just fly right through it. Boom. Nothing. So, yeah. I can have these things cluster. It's a big mess. Someone is pointing out in Twitch chat that you can make the ground vehicles not use pathfinding too, but they might crash into stuff. Ooh, I didn't actually know that. That's curious. Now, that would actually be cooler. So my original plan for this, and I might still do this, was to leverage the asphalt roads mod, and I was going to actually make roads that go around my entire base, pepper them with beacons, these little position beacons, and then make it so that they would simply go and then not have to do any pathfinding whatsoever, have everything be either a straightaway or a simple curve. But ultimately, that's something that's a little bit ways off. But if the problem that I was running into was they might run into one another, haha, pun intended. Anywho, so that was my little venture into, I was thinking about what I could do with this base, and that idea popped into my brain. So I got a whole bunch of these now, so that's great. And I got a bunch of planes, so I can do some fun Armada stuff in the future. But not until I get some science set up. Now, it looks like we are running a bit low on some of our materials, but not terribly so. Our glass is definitely getting used up. Our sulfur is getting used up. But we are definitely getting heat shielding. Now, let's see how many of these electric furnaces we have now, because that's sort of the major consumer right now of them. Oh, here they are. Oh, well, look at you. Okay, that's fantastic. But now, in order to support that, we need lots of solar panels. Ooh, hey, you guys, you guys, so good to me. You are so good to me. Okay, so let's go ahead and just... No, I'm not going to get too irresponsible, but I am going to put down the belts because, gosh, I don't need those. I don't think I need that many accumulators either. I think I'm going to overwhelm the area I'm about to go to with accumulators. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just place a bunch more of these things out. Now, what I want to do is I want to get kind of an idea of how many of these things I need in order to be completely independent of my steam. What just happened? Cannot insert stone. Oh, I must have flown over some that got destroyed by like something or other. All right, here we go. Get rid of that. All right, cool. Have I made the spacesuit thing already? No, I have not. And the reason I have not is because I don't have something. What's the thing I don't have, actually? I think I'm pretty close. The life support canisters, which require blue circuits, and the rocket control units, and I haven't set up rocket fuel. Rocket control units and rocket fuel aren't too bad, though, so hopefully soon. Let's go ahead and blow up some of these cliffs here, because I don't like them in the way of my solar panel arrays. Let's see, are you a cliff? You're a cliff. I think you're a cliff. You're a cliff. Oh, that's not good. What just happened here? Nothing broke, though. Doesn't look like anything's destroyed. I'll fly by it and fix it in a little bit. All right, cliffs. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'll have to pick up some more cliff explosives on my next journey home. Let's unconnect this from the... Well, no, I don't want to unconnect it from the base. Let's create another connection that won't be destroyed when I go ahead and put this one in. Here we go. So let's do this. Should still be connected, and let's do one more. There we go. It's hard to see. I know. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's do it. Boop. And then boop. So I think that should exhaust my supply, but I might be off by one. I don't know. I'm not certain. My hope, though, is to pretty soon here be completely independent from steam as a need. Like, I'd rather not have to need steam. If I have some around and it's consuming some of the coal, that's okay. But seriously, it would be great if I didn't have to. Oops, I keep forgetting to pick those up. Oh yeah, actually, we can put a couple more down. How many of these do we have? Yeah, we got plenty. There's a couple more that need to get put down over here. Oh, we are out of the power lines real quick. Okay, well, I tell you what. Let me just go ahead and put all these down. Actually, nah. I'm going to have to sit there and wait. So let's just go ahead and really quickly go get some more, what are they called? Substations, not stub stations. Me are English good. All right, so where'd the meteor land? Right here. Very good. And then we'll pick you up because you look unsightly. Here we go. All right, so substations are right about here. And then let's just grab 2 stacks. Nope, not grabbing 2 stacks. Lied about that one. Can I please just open up the interface for that here? Nope. Oh my gosh. Please just let me open up the interface. My life is a lie. Oh my golly gosh. So complicated. All that stone there though. That's gross. I don't want any of that stuff. And keep the engine one there, but let's get this stone stuff out of here. Boo. Raw materials. Okay. So now let's just go put the rest of these down. Now, let me... I need to figure out exactly what my energy footprint used to be. The problem is I'm not quite sure how to calculate that, you know? All right, so I should put those down. 2 more. Come on. 1 more. There we go. So let's do this again. There's like a tree in the middle of here. Like, I feel like that's... You know what? You're so preposterous that you're just going to get to stay. Congratulations. There we go. There we go. Feeling pretty good about this, too. Oh, wow, there's random trees in my arrays. That's great. I am building stuff that's very far away. That's great. Here we go. So the other reason that I want to have independence from all of the steam power is because if I'm going to go and do a great deal of... Come on. We cannot be out of that stuff. Please tell me I don't have to go back. Ugh. No, I'm not. Why aren't these building? This is very strange. Come on, build. Oh, are those cliffs? Those are cliffs. Hey, that was good shot, me. All right. What about you? Are you guys cliffs as well? Because I only have 2 of these things left. All right. And... All right, that looks good. Whew. Talk about just in the nick of time. Ooh, nifty. I can do 1 more. All right, but not if there's cliffs. Not if there's cliffs. Oh, well, let's just do this. Here we go. Boop. Here we go. There that is. And I think, actually, is that all of it? It feels like all of it. And there's trees still stuck in here. At some point, I might get rid of those because those are preposterous. But for right now, I don't care. All right, so how much does this thing actually make in terms of power? So let's see. The idea is that I have enough accumulators to account for each solar panel. So this solar panel creates 60 kilowatts. If I have 100 of them, that means I have 6,000 kilowatts, or just 6 megawatts. So, if I'm not mistaken, let's see. I think I'm missing one down there. What is this? What is this? Oop, come on, there we go. So yeah, this is exactly 112. Oh, I got one of the rows from over there. There we go. It's exactly 100. So that should give me 60 kilowatts per should give me 6 megawatts per one of these things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 times 6 is 78. So 78 megawatts, I think right now is what I'm supplying my base with. Man, it's going to be embarrassing if I do that math wrong. But you know what? Doing it live is actually a lot harder than it might seem. Here we go. So, yeah. There's no way we're going to be hurting for power now. This thing is creating some of that power, the steam engines, but they're creating half of their output right now, which is about 30 or so. So I guess it's about 60. Let's go take a look. I think there's a way to calculate exactly how much these make as well. Where are you? There you go. Hello. So these things output, 900 kilowatts maximum. So that's quite a bit. So 10 of these. So this thing is a bank of 40 of them. So 40 times 900, that's 30. That's 32,000, 36,000. So wow, that's quite a bit. So it's 36 megawatts. Something feels wrong. I'm doing some math wrong here. Hang on. Solar panels go down, and this entire thing, so the accumulators aren't kicking in just yet. So when these things hit 0, then the accumulators should start. Nope. We're not quite there yet. Looks like we're just running off of this. So this is creating about 90, we'll call it a nice round even 100. I wonder why I'm not using my accumulator charge, though. That is not good. But I'm still, I'm producing only a fraction of what I need. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm surprised that my entire base is running off of the setup as it is right now. It's been a problem in the past. But my guess is that I've now reached the point where I can, if I need to, build all of this stuff out, because I have plenty of all of the things that I need for this to work. So let's see just really quickly what that is. That's a bunch of these guys here. Oh yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm going to let this back up for a little while, but each one of these is a row, right? I don't know what it is compared to a blue belt, because my bases usually don't make it to the blue belt stage. I usually just, upgrade other things. So yeah, that's partially just due to my inexperience. So let's see. Yes, my stone is running out? My stone bricks? Hold on. Let's go look at stone bricks real quick. I might have snipped something silly. Stone bricks. Not getting much stone. All right, I see. Well, I know the problem is I never upgraded the belts, but evidently that's a thing now. All right, so let's just do that. Let's upgrade these. Oops, I put all of my belt away. So let's go ahead and just fix that. Here we go. Now, I know there's a thing where I'm supposed to... Oh, there's already more. Okay, I could just sit here and do that for way too long. So I'm going to have to be careful. There's the dump chest of all of my belt. Let's see, I have 18 splitters. Let's go ahead and grab some more of those. Grab those right there. Certainly I'm not going to need this many in the future. I'm pretty near blue belts. Don't need this. Put you in there. Okay. Yeah, we're doing good. So let's go ahead, put these things back because, haha, lol, do not need them. Boop. And let's put this garbage away. Here we go. Not there. Yeah, that's good enough. At some point I had aspirations to organizing that. Those aspirations have long since expired. All right. Let's upgrade the stone belt. And then we can start building out some arrays of stuff. Make sure I'm not going to get killed. Yay, I didn't get killed. Here we go. So I think this is set to... Oh, I was wrong. Glad I checked. There we go. All right. So this is going to have some troubles. I think all these need to be... I think all these are yellow. No, they look red. No, I think all it is red. Okay. So that's all red. That's good. So here we go. This part, however, is not. So boop, boop. In fact, let's just boop all this. And then let's boop all this. And then let's boop all this. Here we go. So let's see. Okay, that's looking pretty good. It looks like it's getting consumed too. All right, that should increase the brick production. Funny how that works. There we go. All right, beautiful. Now, let's go ahead and do some stuff. We are going to build out an array of something. Now, my thought is that I would like to make... I want to set up science, right? So I think we now have enough of those, what's it called? Built-in storage. Those, what are they called? Electric furnaces. They're built-in storage. They're good. So now we can just start making some for mass production. So let's just think. We need to feed, basically, however long this takes is how many of those we're going to have to build. So we have, or of each. So we have, we're going to feed 21 of these things. So let's see. We're going to need to have... How many electric furnace makers? They take 5 seconds each? Let's find out. So 5 of these to feed that array. And then 5... how many productivity modules? How long does it take to make a productivity module? 2 seconds? Nah, that's not too bad. 2 of those. So, yeah. All right. So let's just go ahead and make an array. And all it does is it makes some whatchamacallits. Well, let me think. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of extra play here, right? Let me go ahead and grab some of that hazard concrete. In fact, where is it? Here we are. Grab all that real quick. A lot of these things actually need their hazard concrete to be put in. Yeah, all this didn't get done. Here we go. So we'll just go back. There we go. Whole bunch of this stuff. And then this needs to come up. Oh, that's perfect. All right. And let's bring that back down. Sorry, I'm doing a bunch of tasks, many of which needed to be done a while ago. Ooh, I missed it by 1 tile. There we go. So then out here we go. Here we go. And then this one here. All right, so good enough. I'll fill those in with regular concrete later. But let's go ahead and make this 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to give myself 6 tiles just because I screwed up and needed more lanes in the last thing, the other mall over there. So let's hope I don't screw up again, but let's pad this just in case. All right, I messed that up. Oops, that's okay. There we go. And I actually only got a little bit of concrete, but I think I already have some in my inventory, so we can just do that. All right. Now the thing is that those are my buffer lanes, right? So in fact, now that I'm thinking about it, let me give myself 2 more lanes of this stuff. So let me just do this. So this is the normal buffer that I'll have between things. And I can start building pretty much right after this. Let's go ahead and fill this in. This is only 4 tiles. There we go. Oops. Come on. It's like, there we go. I'm waiting for it to, I think it's a Nexla mod, but basically I'm waiting for that thing to essentially make my plane go in a cardinal direction. Oh, here we go. Actually, I think I need to go a little bit back here. Let's do this. And let's do this. All right. And then down here, we'll do the same thing. Go. And then over here, same thing. I did promise everyone that I was going to make my base pretty. I keep my word. All right. Oops, that's backwards. We will not have backwards concrete stuff. Here we go. Whatever. Oh, of course. Figured I could just do this one little quick thing. Won't be a problem. No one can make a mistake in that regime. Turns out I was wrong. There we go. Okay. And then lastly, let's just do this. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. And when I get reinforced concrete and I can layer that, it'll look pretty darn cool. That's not the plane I want to be in. But it's the plane I deserve. Slow plane. Where's my normal plane? There it is. Doo-doo-doo. Hello, slow plane. Meet fast plane. All right. So, this is where this is going to go. Let's go ahead and bring up the hazard concrete. Let's go to about right there. Oh, I went through cliffs. That's going to be ugly. Oh, well. I at least want to pave the bus up a little bit, because that's going to be a problem. Otherwise, it's going to get really challenging to have to constantly do this. So I'll give myself a little bit of leeway here. Here we go. Thankfully, I thought to do this with the other part, but I should probably have done it a little further out. Here we go. Here we go, getting this done. So the reason this is important is because I have a really wide bus. This thing is huge. Here we go. I know someone was like, oh no, he missed a spot. It's going to be like 18 episodes before he fixes it. But you're wrong. Hypothetical person, you are wrong. All right. Here we go. There are mistakes that I'm making that will be 18-ish episodes before I fix it. But that's just not one of them. All right. Here we go. Oops. Here we go. Too far. Too far. What have you done? Make this a little bigger. And boop. Okay. Now, I should probably fill in the stuff between, but not so important. So I need 5 things making the whatchamahooza calls it. The electric furnaces. I need 2 things making where did they go? These things right here, productivity modules. And then I need 2 things making rails. And the reason I need 2 things making rails is because this thing, it requires 30 per 21. So if I go ahead and give it 2, it'll keep up. Okay, so I'm going to again sort of go with the idea that I want to have this be expandable. Like all these things down here, I can like copy and paste them in chunks and they'll still work. So let's see, what's necessary? In order to do this, I'm going to need to feed this steel plate, advanced circuits, and then all this other smelting stuff. Okay, so this is going to be a problem. To feed 5 of these, I'm going to need 3 of these. To feed 3 of these, I'm going to need 2 of these. So I think that's right. And the reason I'm thinking that is because this thing takes 5 seconds, consumes 1 per 5 seconds. Yeah, I'm correct. Anyways, so we need 5, 3, and 2. So let's just do that then. I think we only need stone to come in from the side, so we'll have stone come in. I'll tell you what, let's have stone, and I bet I can do something clever with stone and stone brick. Yeah? So let's do that. If I have a line of stone and stone brick coming in, it'll come in here, it'll split off, and up here is where the rest of that's going to go, okay? So that's the rest of the stone and stone brick line. So let's go ahead and put a combinator down here so that I know stone and stone brick. Where our brick am is. Here we go. So then I'm going to need steel. And then what else do you need? You need steel and heat shielding. Because I think I don't want to put steel and advanced circuits on the same line. Because I don't want to. This is going to be. This needs a. You know what? I think it just might be a straight up steel line that's going to consume 6, and then that's going to consume 5. So yeah, per craft. So that's consuming 2 per second. That's consuming 1 per second. I can feed a bunch of those with a little bit of steel, but still. So let's do steel on one line. And then, because the other thing is I have another consumer of steel. That is the rail. Okay, so yeah, we'll do a steel line. So then this is going to have to skip over. And then put one of these here. We'll call this steel. Here we are. So then that will peel off and do its thing. And so then we also need red circuits and... Here we go. Red circuits and heat shielding. I think that's under space. There we go. So then that's going to come in, and that's going to go under as well. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of extra room here, just so this thing can actually curve out and do that. And then this is going to need to essentially curve out immediately. So I think what I'll do is I'll just do this backwards. So I'll have this here and this here. So this can then... No, I'm sorry. I meant this here and then that there. There we go. Because I don't know exactly where this is going to end up needing to go, right? Here we go. So this will end up outputting here. I don't know. I think I'm thinking way too hard about this, right? Yep, I'm thinking way too hard about this. Whatever. It is what it is. I'll figure this out when it's time to actually build the stuff. Boom. Boom. Okay. So I have that line set up, so that's good. And that's going to give me just the furnaces. The other thing that I need to do is to make these things, which is red circuits and green circuits. So I have red circuits mingled with heat shielding, but then I also need to have red circuits mingled with green circuits in another thing. And then this is, all right, this is about to get very strange. So, okay. Well, if I make another... Tell you what, why don't I just bring up green circuits here? Yeah. Oops, that is definitely the wrong thing to look for green circuits in. Boom. And then if I do that, I can do the same thing here. But then that will give me, these two lines should give me what I want for the these things here, productivity modules. And then it's going to be just straight up rail. So rail, I already have steel, but then I need stone, which I still have, and iron stick, so iron, which I do not have. So let's make this a steel and, or sorry, iron and green circuit line. So if that's the case, then this is what I get. So this should be able to make everything I want. All right, let's make it happen. So now I'm going to give myself a little extra room here because I'm going to make some arrays. So let's start with making the... I need two of these things making stone furnaces. So let me actually do it like this. So what I'll do, this thing, all this requires is stone. And this thing is carrying stone. And I think that's, oh, it's stone and iron, or stone and stone brick. Fine. Boom, 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 boom. So you are a stone furnace maker, which is right here. Copy and paste. give you some power poles. Actually, we'll probably end up converting over to something like this, but for right now. All right, good enough. So let's actually give you power just so I don't have to stare at blinking things this whole time. Might that be nice? Okay, so these things are going to feed 3. You know, I wonder if I can just do something like this, like I do with like a reverse green circuit design. So if I did this, here we go. Yeah. And then what'll happen here is that this is going to be a steel furnace crafter. Yeah, but that requires the stone brick as well. What if I did this? What if I ran this in between? Okay, here's a clever little idea. What if I did this? In fact, let's do 1, 2, 1, 2. And let's actually move this out here. Again, I should probably not be putting these things down without actually knowing where the belts are going to go, but whatevs. Here we go. And then I'll do one of these numbers. Actually, let's do one of these numbers. Okay, so here's how this will work. This goes in here, here. This goes out here, oops, here, here, and here. This creates this. So now, these things can output happily here. Make sure these aren't on chunks. Someone had mentioned that they think that this is that bug where the chunk alternating thing has been fixed, but I don't know. So here we go. Let's put some lights out here. And then here, this thing is going to need to input some steel, but it has its stone and its stone furnaces from one little line there. Perfect. So your steel, good. So you are going to be needed out here. So you're going to go like this. So let's go ahead and undergroundy here. Here we go. And then there we go there. Okay. So this comes up here and will input. Meanwhile, these will output. Now, these things are going to have to feed an array of 5. And that array of 5 goes right here. Now, hold on. I think this thing requires steel as well. Yes, so the steel's coming up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. So now the question is, how is this going to feed all 5 of those? Well, the answer is like this. So this goes up here. The steel line is going to have to go up as well. What I'm worried about is, does this guy miss out on having something given to it? So I'll make sure that he doesn't by putting the drop off one tile behind the pickup. Here we go. And now let's go ahead and grab some stuff here. How are we doing on the base? Oh yeah, you guys are fine. 992 out of 1,000. Yeah, you're good. You are good. So now let's put out another one of these things. Let's put it right here. There we go. So then this has now its steel and its steel furnaces. Now this just needs advanced circuits and heat shielding. And this can be put in every single iteration of what I'm about to build. So that's really cool. So let's see. I think this is going to have to go one tile behind because this is then going to have to go one tile ahead. All right, and then we'll do the same sort of pattern here for this one. Even though that's a different product. This is green circuits and iron, I think. Yep, and this is red circuits and heat shielding. Perfect. So then this will dip under again. Oops, too far. Here, oops, and going the wrong way. Lots of oopses. So this is going to be a bit awkward because it's got to dip behind, but whatevs. I'm not too worried about it. So now we just need to get some inputs here. And that will give it everything it needs to craft, and you guys can output here. Now, in order to output in a way that's reasonable, we're going to have that come up like this, and then it'll like maybe go on the side here or something, right? I'll just have this go like kind of a side bus here. Now I also need to make some red circuits, or sorry, I need to get some red circuits up here and some other stuff made. So like the rails, right? I need to make the rails somehow. Well, I think this is a steel line, right? And I have everything drawing off this steel line. So what I can do, let's get rid of this. I can worry about power poles in a second. What if I did this, actually? So I have this thing plucking off the steel line and this thing plucking off the stone line. Now I just have to figure out how to get it iron sticks, and we are good. Well, the iron sticks shouldn't be too bad because I can bring those up here, and I can peel off before this right here. And again, I'll get rid of this. I'll figure out power poles in a second. I'll just have this going up here. So you guys make some iron sticks. Boom, boom. And then we'll do this. So here we go. I can just kind of do the same thing here. Move these guys down so they can still get their pickups. But then you guys can go here and here. And you have just become a rail thingy that needs an output. Because right now you have no output. That's a little awkward, but not terribly so. Because what I can do is this. I can bring everything back down one. Oh, golly. Why can't I do things? Here we go. This comes up here. And then what I can do is the same kind of deal. So you input here. This is going to do the same thing, only it's going to take a little bit of a delay. That's okay. Hopefully that won't. If this is too much of a thing, then I can like do a whatever it's called. I can do something with you know what? I may end up having to just do this. We'll just do it right here. There we go. And then so that's going to bridge the gap there, and then this thing will output from here to here. And I'll just have it output like this. All right, so this has to come up here so that it doesn't get output onto accidentally. Get rid of that extra little piece. So that gets me almost everything. The only thing I have left are green circuits and red circuits needing to be put on a single line. So this thing actually makes the... Let's see. So I think I need... this is the output. This has the red circuits on it. And then I'll have the green circuits peel off right about here. Oops. There we go. And then we'll have these things input the green circuits there and input the red circuits from here. And then you are a productivity module right there and there. And in fact, this doesn't have to go up that whole way anymore, because what I can do now is I can bring these around. In fact, it's going to have to come back down. It doesn't really matter. Boom. Let's see. So I think I'm just going to kind of do the standard pattern here, which is to say I'm going to just create a, like this is the thing that makes the purple science, I think. Let's go here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So if I do something like this, where I have 2 input belts on the inside here, because I think no matter what I produce for this, it's just one electric furnace and one productivity module. So I can actually, where's my outputs for this? I haven't put them in yet. Okay. So what I can do is I can actually combine outputs here. There we go. So this thing can come down. What these guys can do is this. Here we go. And this can do one of these numbers. I can have these things output to here, combine here. And in fact, I can just do this. And let me have this go up, this go down, and this go out to the side. So these things are now ready to go. This comes in here. those are the inputs I need for the next phase. Now I don't think I can really save any room by doing anything too cleverly here. The problem, of course, is that I think I'm going to need to go up a little bit. These things need an output that need to go back the other direction. So the output's going to have to go out to here like this, right? So here's the combined output. And this needs to continue going on in this direction. So let me go ahead and do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, so this is just for placement vertically, not horizontally. So I'm going to go here, and then I'll have some undergrounds go here to here, here to here. Because everything can just skip under this part. This is just going to be the combiner part, right? So then this is the output belt from this. So here to here is going to be how far I need. There we go. So then this is going to be the input. So let's actually do this. Bring this up one tile. There we go. Here we go. And then the output tile, this is going to come down under from here because the output's going to go this way. And then this is going to just combine here. And this is going to combine with anything else down the line here. And then this, I need 21 of these, so I'm just going to build out 22 and not feed one perfectly. There's always a bit of funny business that goes on with that. So that's going to go on, and then I can just, and then this will be copy and pasteable. That is such a cool little thing that I have made here. I am very happy. All right, so now powering this monstrosity. I can do some clever stuff here, or can I? See, the thing is that, are these needed? Nothing's picking up from those tiles. Yep, okay. So I can do this with like an underground. I think I can go from, because this is going to be outputting to there, so I can't go any further than that to that. How much does that catch? Should catch almost everything there. Oh, wow, look, that's perfect. It's like I planned for that. Even though, I'm standing right in the way. Didn't plan that well, evidently. Let's go here, and then we can go probably here, here. That's about right. I think here would be best, actually. And the reason I think that is because I can do this and not worry about having to interrupt the flow of this stuff here. Okay, so doing that, let's go ahead and put some lights down. I have like a light here, but let's really actually put some lights down. I can just like cap the arrays. That's not a big deal. Or I can put them to the side like that. That's fine. Not super worried about it. I just want there to be enough so that people can actually see what I'm doing when I'm zoomed out. All right, cool. Now we just got to build out all this stuff. Gross, but necessary. Here we go. So you are now a purple science. That's everything. So this is everything here. Now I'm going to need another one of these guys. Of course, this isn't too bad because while I have input inserters on either side here, I can probably create some space for this. If not, I can just switch to single poles. That's not a big deal. Here we go. Let's go ahead and just copy this, paste it in a couple places. And I'll paste a little fractional piece here. Just get rid of all that. Now, there we go. Need some more red inserters, evidently. Okay. But let's make sure we have the proof of concept complete. I think I also am going to need some more belt. This is getting pretty close. Put some lights down. Here we go. We'll just do this. I don't know. Whatever. Let me not put the lights down just yet. That should be the last thing, right? Here we go. Come here. All right, so we are almost done here. And I think I just need to put down one of these like right here. Here we go. And then I think I need to put down one more. Oops, did I miss it by like one tile? Oh, and these things can't really shove over. Oh, that's annoying. That's going to cook my goose. I can't really do anything about it either. Can I get this thing to shove over one? Can you just go over one? Hey, look at that. So now let's put that back down so it is connected. There we go. That can't go all the way out there, but I'm not going to bother. Put it right there. The reason I'm thinking about this is because I want that to essentially tile a little bit with that. So that actually, I guess it should go 1, 2 out, right? Because if it's going to tile, then that's going to need some space in front of it. Okay, let's go ahead and light this up, and we are about to call this an episode. There we go. Now I just got to get some red inserters, and I'm not going to be able to feed this whole thing this episode, but I have built it. Now all I have to do is give it food. I'll put the red inserters down, and then that'll be that. Alrighty. Super happy about this. Purple science is almost a go. And like I said, if I need to, I can just go ahead and this thing tiles, right? So that's great. Now I'm going to need to actually pick all this up and move it over like 1 or 2 tiles. So I guess I don't, well, yeah, it's fine. It'll use up some nanobots when I go to do that, but that'll be all right. Here we go. All right, looking good. Well, with that, we will call this an episode. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been great, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Take care.